Hello everyone, I am Nu-Trix the Synth guy, and today we're talking about Zenbeats and Zenology Pro from Roland. So basically today it's a Roland Zen update news about what's new, because these existed before and now there's updates and it might be just the right one for you. We will look first into Zenbeats. Zenbeats is my favorite DAW. It works on iOS, Android, of course, iOS and iPad, Mac and Windows, and you can save and exchange between all of these platforms, and this is, for me, a godsend. It's just wonderful. What's new? Well, a bunch of little things are in it that makes it more easy to work. You can, in the Mac and PC, you can drag and drop samples into the drum pads, stuff like that. That makes it quicker to work. You can import stuff. So a lot of what was really noticed for me was the fact that you can more easily import and export stuff. And this is a good thing, especially on the iPad. The main menu where you load everything. Let's go. I'm going to show you what I mean. You have, of course, the same menu that you had before. You can just load here your song. You can actually see all of them if you want to. But there's a new thing. When you click on one, you have open, you have share, but you also can modify it. You can change the name right now and you can delete it. It sounds simple and stupid, but on the iPad, this was not available before. So you had to go on the hard drive and change it, which on a computer is not a big deal because you just go on the folder and then you change it. But on the iPad, I still had not the reaction of going to manage my songs in the Finder of the iPad instead of in the app itself. So it was kind of weird for me. But now this is solved. This is a great thing. You can actually just load your stuff right there. Let me just load something else. So the other news in Zenbeats, there's a bunch of them, but the other one that is really important for me is when you go into song, now you've got a lot more choices here. You can render song, you can transfer song, you can export song. And this is interesting. Export to document folder, to download folder, or to music folder. So if you go render song, of course, it's going to render the mix and you have a file you can use. If you transfer, you have more choices here, wave, export to, and then document folder, download folder, or music folder, which is interesting because now you can actually decide where it's going to go more easily than before. And the stems, you can actually have all of them, all the tracks in subtracks with group effects, a lot more options than you had before. So this is, and export the stems to, I want to export them to document folder and create a stem archive if you want to. So it's really more efficient to back up your stuff or export to continue somewhere else. I would say the minimum would be to back up your stuff, because if you do a song this year and you do a remix in 5, 6, 10 years because, I'm going to celebrate that song that it was a hit. When you release it, you don't know it's going to be a hit. When it comes back 10 years later and go, where are my tracks? I might not have the same software, of course. I might not have the same tools. So you better off render all your tracks with effects and all your tracks without effects. So you have that backup you can fall back on and re-edit and remix if you want to rework these songs in the future. So minimum would be to back up everything with this, kind of have an archive of everything you have. So this is great for that. But also, if you want to do this, you want to export your stuff and then go into another software to mix because you want to do it in a different way, or you want to bring it into a live setting where you're going to use it more as a software, a little bit like a DJ software. So maybe you want to stem your stuff and send it to another place, and then you'll use it live in more of a DJ set. So it's a great thing, and it's a lot quicker, because what I used to do is to mute everything I don't want, export, then reactivate everything I want and mute everything I don't want and export. And I would do that many times. Now it just goes, every track is being rendered separately with effects and it's going to be saved on the hard drive at the right place. So this is a great deal. I'm going to cancel that for now, but you understand the logic. This is where it goes. You also have here in songs, transfer song is, you can transfer it to another another device. So if I open this on the iPhone, if I go export my content, then you see you've got choices here that this is basically stuff that I already did, that I mixed, songs that I have, stems that I have. So these are ready to be exported. And then I can go, I'm going to give it a name, export one, and export. And then I'm going to create a file of everything that I have, and I can export it to another place. So you can really do a backup of everything you have, or you want a backup. So let's say you work with a lot of songs and say, okay, these songs are done. So I want to export all of them without exporting everything, because the other one I'm working on, and then you can save it as, that's the project of 2022, whatever it is. So I like this approach. It gives me more control over, managing my songs and my files. And it was something that I was really looking for, because lately I was kind of cleaning up. I had so many tracks, so many songs, and I was just trying to clean up the tracks, knowing which one I want to keep and which one I want to get rid of. And it was kind of a hard thing to do. And now with this, it's just a simple, back up what you want and continue to work. And that's a great thing. You see this when you have open song, save song, same song as, render, transfer song, and export song to my iPhone Zenbeats exports. If I click here, okay, so it zipped the file, so I can actually send it now from the file. But if I go, again, song, transfer song, and you see I've got my MacBook that appears here. So if I transfer that song here, I go transfer, authorize this, transfer failed. Okay, superb. Try this again. Does it see it? Transfer song. Searching for device. It sees it. Okay, so I go transfer. You just received this song. Open. So that's it. Again, what's interesting now is that you had to go, before this way of transferring, you had to go through, send it to Google Drive or, online iCloud, or, an online service, which is fun and nice, but sometimes you just don't have access to that. You're on vacation and you're with a limited internet, connection, but you have Wi-Fi, so you could transfer between two devices without going to the net. This now fixes it. So this is really cool. Now, let's talk about Zenology Pro 2. I mean, it's the culmination of everything that Roland did for, since the D50. It has that flavor and that capacity and that the features and function that you had since the D50 to today, but everything else just added every year to this base, and it grows, and it became so huge in synthesis. Basically, this synthesis does almost everything, I would say, except wavetable. For getting it right, everything else basically can be done. This is the same synthesis technology you find in the Jupiter X and Jupiter XM, and in the MC707, MC101, and in the Phantoms. It's the same technology, same sounds. Of course, you can have different patches. The Zenology Pro has everything, even the model expansion. So when you actually click on it to see, I want to see the whole thing, I want to see edit. This is the whole thing. Now, it changed with the version 2. If you go, let's say, in structure, routing, output, now this is a lot cleaner than before. So what we do now to navigate through it, you actually click on this section here, and it gives you a graphic right away. Okay, this is my filter. So it's really quick and easy to work. Oh, you want to play with the envelope? Okay, let's go here and then. You get this. You see here you get an LFO that is a step sequence. The two of them. So it's really graphic to work with this. It's easy to work, and they changed it. That's the main difference of Zenology Pro 1 and 2 is the user interface. They make it easier to navigate and to use. You want to click here. Now you see these envelopes. You want to see more of them at the same time? You can actually, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually click some of them at the same time. Like this. That's it. If you click in between them, you can actually see all the filter envelope at the same time. So you can actually, because you have 4 of them right now. So if I change this, and you have a lot of them, like this is the Jupiter one. That's the one we have here. This is the Prophet. This is the Moog. This is VCF1. A lot of them here. So this is really cool, and the way you can use them. Same thing here. If you click like this, you're gonna have the 4 LFOs at the same time, 2 the 4 LFO 1 at the same time, the 4 EQs at the same time, the 4 pitch envelope at the same time, and the partials. Well, if you want to get to oscillator, there it is. So then you could actually assign different easily just try these, and it's quick to control this. You're still gonna have to go into Pro Edit sometime and say, okay, LFO, I've got all the LFO information here. Where are they going? So you've got the depth, you've got all the information about the LFO 1 and 2. Here you have it here. LFO 1 pitch depth, LFO 1 filter depth, LFO 1 amp depth, LFO 1 pan depth, phase distortion, phase position. So these are where this is going. So, and this you have it here for LFO 2. It says that LFO 2 is sent to the filter and the amp. So you have it here in the filter. This is where you're going to change it. So it's a receiver end. How much you're going to get from the LFO 1. If you want to go into the pitch, click on pitch. You look for LFO 1 and 2. Here it is. Change the pitch. You want to set the amplifier, click here. Amplifier, here it is. LFO 1 and 2. So it's at the receiver end you have to go. So Zenology Pro 2 is a cool update with a nicer, more optimized interface to work with and to be easy and quick to work with. It is a really powerful synthesizer. If you want to know more about Zenology Pro as a synthesis engine, look at my other video over here that tells you all about it. That's it for now. Hope this is useful, and as always, make more music and see you soon. Cheers.